Live. Once again, I'm getting into this. I'm here to answer all your questions. First of all, how was your day today? I'm in the United States. I'm in Florida. It's hot, but it's okay. Hi, everybody. Just checking in to see how your day was. I had another great day. A great day to me is when I'm thankful and I help people. I donated a couple things. I had a dishwasher installed, and the gentleman, a young gentleman, that's his profession. 9 years installing appliances. He did good. So, and of course, I give him water, give him a tip beyond the service cost, and I'm sure people are surprised by that. And the other thing I talk about is, I mentioned, especially when they're young, here's my card. And I hope, they appreciate YouTube because it seems like I'm getting younger and younger people on YouTube. So I'm outdoors, 90 something. I've had a nice walk. I'm sitting down, as you can see, by a bench. So looking forward to your questions. What's going on? It's 5:06. It's 5:06 here in Florida, so it's Eastern time. People are probably just getting off of work. And some kids are getting prepared for school because it's July. I always forget about that, about preparing for school. How you doing, kid? Paul, you're back on. Thanks, man. You guys hear me okay? I'm outdoors. I'm trying to learn this, as I've mentioned before. Lucas, what a great name. I love that name, Lucas. Okay, sounds good, man. Someone's got diarrhea. Oh my God. Okay. All right, that's cool. All right. Where are you guys located? Come on, I'm not going to repeat that. Okay. Just scrolling, huh? Cool. Hogan, yeah. I'm from Minnesota. I believe Minnesota was heavy wrestling when I was a kid. My grandparents used to bring us to wrestling back in the day. I was probably 10 years old. My grandparents loved it. And that's when they said they were actors and entertainers. The Crusher and a few other people. Mike Hawk. I don't know what that means. Lucas. Okay. Well, I've been wondering what people are thinking about. That's what I want to know. I want to help somebody. I got a lot to say. I can't talk about myself. You guys could go on YouTube. I'm on there on shorts. I got longs. I got mediums. But I'm liking live because I get to see what people are thinking about. What was your day like? Okay. What's up? Life is up, Craig. Life is up. I'm watching this UPS thing, man. What people are going to do, I know what the corporation's going to do and the investors, but I want to know how many of those 20,000 people are going to take that buyout. Yeah. Yep. Junior. Hulk Hogan, yeah. I was shocked he was only 71. But what a beating he must have took, huh? I'm 71. I didn't realize I was the same age, And then how about Ozzy? Were you guys aware of Ozzy and Black Sabbath back in the 70s? He was 76 when he passed. Now, see, I look at ages now, It's kind of hard, you know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, Wisconsin, Wisconsin, post office, rising rates on stamps. Well, you know what? It's big business, man. And but here's the thing about USPS. You're supporting the country. And you know what? With all this UPS and all this everything, the emphasis on money, not people, money, efficiency, and profit. USPS, they're going to be a lot less and they're going to improve, and you're supporting with pride the United States. Okay? You made it. Yeah, Craig. What the hell? Don't you work? I'm going a little bit earlier. A couple days ago it was 7:30 p.m. I'm testing. Then it was 6 o'clock Eastern. Then I'm now at 5:10. You got to remember, my mind is in Vietnam half the time. It's 5 o'clock a.m. It's 12 hours difference. My friends in Vietnam. Ozzy. Yeah, it's unbelievable. But his music was, hey, I was in high school when Black Sabbath came out, and I liked a lot of different music. I didn't like all his stuff, and yeah, he was a character, no doubt about it. And it's surprising how many guys are still alive. You know, they say Mick Jagger is in really great shape and he's in his 80s, but think about Ringo Starr, man. Ringo's in great shape too, and he's a real giver. He's very generous. Um, yeah, Ronnie, yeah. But you know, greetings from Spain. I've been to Spain. Oh man, the food, the people, the beauty. So, and what do they call the bull? Nadal. He's a dude, man. Well, I wasn't really into, what should I say, hard rock. You know, it was a little bit beyond me. I was more into Santana, and then as I got older and more romantic, I got into opera, and I got into Italian Pavarotti and so on because I'm out there hustling. You know. Yeah, amazing. The food is amazing too. The people, awesome. I know people retiring to Spain. You know, I'm coming out of these YouTube channels, people who connect. Oh man, I love baseball. I love baseball. Oh yeah, I was a kid, and I don't know why I was mad at my parents or something. I was a baseball card collector. I was very young, maybe under 15. Yeah, you know what I did? I threw everything out. I regret it. That's if somebody asks me, Rock, what do you regret? That's one of my regrets. Throwing out the baseball cards because I had a ego with my mother and my father. Okay. Hola. Hola. Okay. Now, Motley Crue. Yeah, I know who they are. I wasn't really into them. Um, but you know what I like? I like the music of these ball players when they come in from the bullpen, the relief guys, and they got AC/DC on and all that. That's cool, man. It's really cool. Gets you all psyched up. No, I'm not, Matt. Pavarotti. Awesome, man. I've seen him twice in concert. The last time I saw him in Fort Lauderdale, first time in Minnesota, and he was in bad shape, man, in Fort Lauderdale. He was in the wheelchair behind a table, but his voice was still there. But you don't even know what's going on with these people. You know, the pain that they're in and so on. What's up, fool, Byron? Am I really a fool? I'm having fun with you guys. Yeah, I am old, and I'm proud of it. You know, I'm still alive. Hey, listen, my father's going to be 100 in February. I just, he's in Minnesota. He'll be back here during the winter months. And I'm 28 years younger than him. And one of 11 kids, and we're all alive. We range from 79 to 60. Yeah, okay. I'm 71. I'll be 72. No, it's funny you bring up a drummer. I wanted to be a drummer when I was a kid. The Beatles came out. I would go to my mother. I'm one of 11, as I've mentioned. And when I was young, the Beatles came out in what, 64, 63. I sat in the kitchen and took up my mother's pots and pans, and I used some butter knives, and I started banging around. And then later, I always wanted to be a percussionist, okay? And I love Santana and their percussion, and at Woodstock especially. And I think Michael Shreve is the drummer. He was only 19. That was his first gig, man. Watch Woodstock, the original Woodstock. No, I'm born in Minnesota, USA, and then for 49 years, and then I moved to Florida in 2003. I've never been to Scotland. I've been almost everywhere else, though. Hey, 19, you're just getting into it, man. And you know what? If you're focused and disciplined, you could be a rock star, man. Whatever you want to do, just don't pick the wrong horse. Do you know what I mean by the wrong horse? The wrong horse is if you pick the wrong woman or man, you pick drugs, you pick alcohol, you pick people, bad boys, bad girls in high school and so on, because that's your foundation. And your parents are critical to raising you. And if your parents aren't cool and your parents are taking care of you, find a mentor. That's what I'm trying to do, is mentor you people. Why? Because I know Gen Z is on this more than baby boomers. You know why I get the youth? Because you guys are looking for something. You're looking for something. You have hope, and you have your whole life in front of you. Where a baby boomer, my age and more, and I was in business, so it was like, and I'm going to get up here. And you know what it was like? My business was, everybody was smart, the smartest guy in the room. And I would look at him and go, no, you're not the smartest one in the room. But I'd let him do it, though. And then eventually I had to make a decision. I used to pick and choose who I wanted for a client. That's kind of my forte. My parents taught me a lot. Yeah, we're going to pray for you, kid, man. Everybody pray for Byron. He had an accident. I don't know about Swagert as the greatest. I don't know. Okay, Gen Z, you're hardcore racist, huh? What should you do? Pray. It's not worth it. It's not good to be a hater, man. Doesn't matter. Gen Z, Diddy. You know, I didn't know Diddy. I don't know too much about him except the bad stuff that's coming up, but I don't read that stuff. And you know, I don't. Was he a musician? I don't even know. A rapper. Common sense. Okay, hold it. Who's saying that the last generation possesses the real common sense? You know, it's funny you brought that up. I had a client one time that says, Rock, nobody's got fucking common sense. And you know what? The guy was an idiot. And he passed his business on to his kids in trouble. He left them a fucking mess. And the union. He had a union. He just stuck his family with trouble. Hey, I don't care if you're white, black, polka. My dad used to say, hey, white, black, polka dot, what's it matter? You see? I was not brought up. You know, I was brought up as a worker. Blue collar, hard working guy, one of 11 kids. We didn't have time to be racist or anything. No, I'm not going to be. Need a dollar? You know what? You need a dollar, guess what you got to do? You got to work for it. You got to work for it, man. Yep, you got it. Common sense. There's a difference between common sense and stupid. Well, I'm not going to talk, I'm not going to respond to everything that's, I'm not a pro at. I'm only going to be able to give you my experiences. I'm not a pro at it. Really, I think my best contribution in life was raising my kids. I got 3 kids, all in their 40s. And I taught them the old-fashioned way, what my mother and father taught me. I'm one of 11. I'm number 5. And I was a troublemaker. I was kind of a maverick. I was brought up in the 70s. And I did a lot of stuff, partied. I was an athlete, or I tried to be. But I tried to mix everything into it. A rock star, an athlete, a girl chaser. And then I realized, oh my God, I got to go to school. I got to get an education. $300. 22 years old, 2 jobs, and you're not whining. Good for you. Keep learning, man. And you know what? I think YouTube's good. You know, I learn a lot of stuff on YouTube. And I learn a lot on AI. Because I ask the right questions. You know what I mean? That's why I'm on YouTube, is I'm trying to learn. You know what I mean? I learned from you. You know? Grandma says to shut up and listen. I had cool grandparents, man. Why? First generation, born in the old country. My parents were first generation. My grandparents immigrated from Poland and Italy. Yeah. Jojo, I know what you're saying, man. And you know what? It's not a struggle. What it is a challenge. Life is a challenge, but you have to adapt. And sometimes you're going to realize how to say no to bullshit and how to say yes. Get to yes, Y-E-S. Get to yes. I'd rather say no 10, 15, 20 times before I get a yes, because once I get a yes, I'm all in. I'm all in. And yet, that's how you learn, by the way. You learn. And you know what else you learn about? You learn about people. Because once you start telling people no, man, my dad would say colors show, and it shows, man. Yeah, guy. Yeah. Rather say yes. That's your goal, okay. Helping people. Yep. Oh, I hope you don't think I have a lousy attitude. I hope you're talking to somebody in the community. Well, I got here. I'm thankful I have here. You know, no plugs, no dye, no nothing. You'd rather go broke? No, you don't have to go broke by saying yes. No, just make the right choice for you. Don't worry about anybody else, because there's a lot of schemes out there, a lot of scams. You know, you got to be careful, man. I agree. God's got the plan. No guarantees, man. No guarantees. And that's why I'm so thankful. My dad's going to be 100. Why? My mother passed at 94. My mother or my father's at 100. So he's beat all the records. He's lived 5 years after my mother passed. Usually it's within 6 months. A long-term marriage couple pass on together within 6 months. Why? There's a purpose. God gives you a purpose. God put me on YouTube as how I believe it. I believe it so I can give you experience. 50 years of business, divorced a couple times, going through the process. Okay? Yeah, we were talking about Hulk Hogan. And you know, when people could be negative about Hulk, I don't know too much about him because, you know, I didn't idolize the guy. And, you know, everybody deserves a legacy, whatever that legacy is, more or less, not only the public, but family. My legacy is I'm hoping that my kids say, hey, what my grandkids, hey, Papa Rock was cool, you know, crazy, but cool. Actually, my YouTube is all about making sure that they know who I was. I'm talking about the next generations. I just saw a bike, some guy, what it was, electric bikes, and fucking, he's doing wheelies and everything. A millionaire, financially, or in life, does it matter? Let's just say I'm independent, okay? You're right. Bill, 69. You beat it, man. We're beating it. We're beating it, what we're doing, and that's why we want to keep going. $76. Cool. Make sure you love her, because you have a better chance that she's going to go before you. Hey, listen, I wouldn't say I'm frugal. I'm actually aggressive in finance. Why? Because I live within my means. I get Social Security and I live within my means. But I've always saved for a rainy day. So whatever I have extra, I reinvest. And I have a foundation. Everything I do financially, I'm building up a foundation to help the underprivileged, the special needs, and Vietnam Agent Orange victims. That's kind of my focus. Yeah. Save for a rainy day, man. You got it. Oh, Craig, do we really want to tell these kids about divorce? Oh, come on. Come on. I got to sit down for that one. Craig, I don't know. These kids are so young. I don't think they're thinking about marriage. I have been hearing lately that people are having kids at a very young age and not accountable or responsible, and it's a problem. It's a problem. Hey, thanks, Bill. I appreciate it. Appreciate you saying you enjoy my channel. Hey, somebody says I sound like an owl. You know what my mother used to give me when I was a kid? I mean, forever. Always, sometimes she would go to the Goodwill, or my mother was kind of like the original bag lady, because we had no money. Everything was passed down. And she'd always used to give me owls, not because of my eyes or anything. I never knew what she meant. She goes, you look like an owl, but what she really meant was I was wise like an owl. But let me tell you something about owls. They're one badass, man, because they could be miles away to see their food, and they're fast, and they pick it up, and they're strong bastards, right? You got it. Isaiah. Cool name. Uh-oh, witness protection. Uh-oh. Okay. Hello, everybody. Generation, we don't need to be looking for me. Yeah. You don't have to look for marriage. I agree with you. I agree with you. But you know, I was brought up with the Catholic faith. I mean, I had a faith, a deep faith, and the Ten Commandments. So, you know, we didn't know whether to be scared of God, the Ten Commandments, my mother, my father. At the end of the day, it was my mother and father we were scared of. Look for Jesus. I'm all about it, man. I hope everybody's got some type of foundation, a good foundation. And, you know, especially you younger people, I hope your parents really took an interest in you to raise you. Yes, Italian, 50%. 50%. My father's first generation Italian American. My mother was Polish, first generation. Great people. I love Italy, by the way. I've been there more than once. I'm from Minnesota. Minnesota, born and raised, and then moved to Florida in 2023, and I've been here ever since. Yep. My parents, my grandparents, a lot of love. When you got 11 kids, 10 brothers and sisters, we had a lot of protection, man, and a lot of our own rules. A lot of the rules were no drugs. Later on, it was usually no alcohol. Watch your friends. Watch your friends. That was another rule in house. And the other one was no guns. Because my father saw in Chicago, he saw gun use in within friends with the Italian neighborhoods. Yeah. Yeah, paying taxes. You got to pay taxes. But you know what? The more money you make, you become, you get involved with tax advisors. I'm talking about true advisors. It's very important. And that's what Trump's doing. This whole thing about the tariffs and the finance aspect, because he's a businessman. It's all about taxes. But at the end of the day, it's all going to balance out. Just, you know, watch your money. Watch your money. And Uncle Sam in the United States is always your partner. People don't realize that. Your partner is Uncle Sam when it comes down to economics. No, I've never done drugs. Not hard drugs, anyway. Tom Jones. You know, John, it's ironic you brought up Tom Jones and Sean Penn. When I was younger, it was, let me think here. What's that guy's name? Martin Sheen's son. What's his name? Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen, Sean Penn, Robin Williams. Yeah, I was told that, you know, this is who you look like. Basically, a tax advisor and tax lawyer are very similar. But they just have to be, you know, licensed. They got to be licensed, you see. And usually, you know, when you get a legal tax advisor, you get a state plan. You know, you get a state plan. Then you got a CFA or CPA. Just get somebody that's very astute. I hired, and I couldn't afford it at the time, but I knew that someday I might have money. So I hired Deloitte & Touche back in the day, Deloitte. I had an advisor, and I was with him for 30 years, and he retired, and now I have people that work with me. Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen had a hell of a life. Yeah, nicotine, I wasn't a smoker. Alcohol, yeah, of course it's a drug. And the reason why I just never got into drinking, I mean, I would party, college and so on, but once I started, my addiction was work. I was a workaholic, but I had a career And that was adrenaline, man. That was adrenaline. And then I had kids, and I wanted to make sure I was a good role model. So I would say to my kids, you know, what, same thing as my mother and father. You got to watch the drugs, you got to watch the alcohol, and you got to watch the women when they were in high school. And I wanted all my kids to give me at least 10 of their friends. So if they got in fucking trouble, I could call their parents and find out what's going on. And it worked. It's a nice trick, man. De Niro. No, you know what about De Niro? Why do you, Goodfellas and so on, when he's a badass, when he was younger? That was my dad, man. That's how I saw my dad, tough. He was like De Niro. And my dad was really quiet, modest guy. Modest, humble. Yeah, Craig. How many of you people have kids? Are they teenagers or youngsters? Craig, your kids are older, aren't they? I think so. Yeah, I smoked weed back in the day till I got caught by my father and I got the shit kicked out of me. Drinking Boone's Farm wine too, I've shared that with you. It was in the 70s, Led Zeppelin, my buddies. I went off to college. A lot of my buddies got into growing weed in Hawaii. And they got busted and thrown in jail and all that shit. Now, it's legal. 6 kids, holy shit. That's a lot of kids, man. A lot of kids nowadays. It's like having 12 kids, like a dozen. Hey, and you know it costs money. It costs money. And then when they get married and have kids, and they become, like my father would say, the in-laws and the outlaws. Senior year. Tough year, man. It's going to go so fast. And, you know, they need guidance. They need guidance. You got to give them some hope. This is where you have that heart-to-heart with your children, senior year. There's going to be a lot of crying. A lot of crying and emotions. Craig, you're young, man. Shit. I have 3 kids. I hope. Listen, I'm not lying. I don't lie. You guys, I don't know what's going on. Are you playing with each other or what's going on? I don't know what to believe. 21 with 6 kids? No. Yeah. Financially. Now listen, I was one of 11. Remember, my dad had a family business. Well, it wasn't really a family business. He had a partial equity position. We would start out in the printing presses at about 9 with no pay. You might get a McDonald's after or a ice cream cone. Come on, guys. No lying. Hey, listen, how do you guys feel about college, trade school, USPS, the military? What would you advise your kids to do, or what would you ever think about it? I'm talking about, you know, it's mandatory, I believe, in certain countries like Italy and other countries. Vietnam is mandatory. Male and female, 2 years. Unbelievable. Yeah. No, I don't eat corn anymore. Really worried about the teeth. I'm gluten. I'm borderline celiac, so I've been eating gluten free for the last 8, 9 months. But it's helped out a lot because I don't have any gut problems and stuff. So, you know, as you get older, you got to watch your teeth, man. And it's expensive to get them reconstructed. Yeah, I think military is good too. And you know what? The military people, once they get out, they're the best workers, man, because they understand structure, you know? And that's why I think my dad, he was in the Army, but he didn't go overseas. He didn't serve during World War II. But he had that mindset because all his buddies were, his brother got 2 Purple Hearts, and you were raised like you were in the fucking military. You know what I mean? So if you got structure, and my son worked for a bank, and his guy was a military guy that flew F-16s. Is that what they're called? F-16s, these fighter jets. And my son took him up as a mentor, and his kids, the guy raised 2 kids that were also F-16 fighter pilots. And then they retire, and then they're on their own, and guess what? They become entrepreneurial, or they know how to make money, but they're very structured. Electricians. Hey, listen, my nephew, my niece is an electrician, and she's bilingual. And guess how she got her job? She went to trade school, become an electrician. At graduation, guess who was there? The employers. They were fighting over her. Fighting over her. And now she's a supervisor because half the team is Mexican in Minnesota, and she's bilingual. Unbelievable. Vietnam, man. Wow. The draft. I don't think the draft will come back because Trump's going to make it so interesting, and he respects these guys, man. You know? I mean, Vietnam is... I was raised... I graduated high school in 1973, and I wasn't drafted. They discontinued the draft in January. I graduated in May of 73. My brother went over there. Some of our neighborhood guys were killed over there. And then I went over basically to see for myself what the fuck was going on. At the end of the day, there's a goddamn government. We all know that. Fucked it all up. Poor guys. My lip gloss? That's sweat, man. I'm out in 93-degree weather. Only surviving son. Tony, I salute you, man. Yeah. You know, you talk about luck. I was lucky, at the same time blessed. So I really respect, and that's why I got involved with this this charity called Dove, D-O-V-E. It's what the hell is it called? It's basically Vietnam endeavors. Okay, I'm sorry I don't remember the first two, but Agent Orange is one of the bigger funds that they have, and that I contribute to that. Tough shit, man. It's poor people, unbelievable. All right. Are you guys talking to me or talking to each other? Come on. No, I've never been with a black woman. Have I ever been with a sane woman? That's the question. Yeah, I've been to Vietnam. Oh, should never have been in Vietnam. Oh yeah, at war today, big time. Vietnamese is going to be that's the next 10 years. You're going to see them boom, man. I'll be in my 80s by then. Happy birthday, sis. Okay. No, there's more than 2 types of women. Another one is a squatter. Learn that word. I married a squatter and divorced a squatter, and I had to pay for it both ways. Come on, man. You guys, you're getting nasty now. Come on. You got to remember, my kids, I'm sure, watch this shit. And they're not happy because they're thinking dad's going off the edge. To me, it's something to do. Yeah, Garth. Bodies? No. I've been buried more than once. Yeah, I had child support many years. I had alimony between two wives almost, let me see here. I had lifetime support with the Minnesota wife, and I had 4 years with the Florida wife. So about 25 years of alimony, guys. And I was married totally 24 years. So, and I had child support. Okay. Come on, guys. Come on. Let's go. Listen. It's over 40 minutes. And you know what I do with this? Of course I post it, but I send it to my editor in Tampa, Florida. He cuts it up into shorts. So I'm trying to monetize. Why am I trying to monetize? I'm trying to monetize to set up my foundations to help people. I'm donating everything. I have books, I have guides, I got all that shit over my 50 years. And what am I doing? I'm donating all this for a better world, okay? Just so you know. So I need you guys to watch my shit. Comment. Eventually, I'm going to get sponsors, right? I'm going to get sponsors. And that's what I'm trying to do. But I want to teach. I want to mentor. So the silly stuff, I can't, I don't have time for it, JM. Yeah. Yeah. No, to be honest with you, there's always a phase. When do you bring in an attorney for a divorce? I think you should have a strategy first. And don't forget, the attorney works for you, so you should interview them. Because if you don't have chemistry with them, and they're not all the same, people aren't all the same like me. My approach is a lot different. I'm right in your face. Some people like it, some people don't like it, Thanks, Bill. Hairline chopped. No, I got hair, man. I'm happy. I'm happy with it. In fact, I got to get a haircut. I'm not shopping for sponsors. Google and YouTube, people are going to find me. People are going to find me and say, this guy's straight to the point, But people still call me after I'm so-called retired and say, Rock, what do I do? What do I do? I just try to help people. But if I know you're a prick, out of here. Thanks. I know, actually, my father says I'm too generous. What's up, Dad? Hey, listen, Vietnamese call me Uncle. Uncle Rock, and that's out of respect. Uncle Ho Chi Minh, they call me Uncle Rock. I'm on TikTok too, guys, and women. Hey, that's the other thing. I'm raising the stakes on my data, on my audience, 25% women. So be careful. Have respect. 75% men. And I'm a guy, so I know what it's like. And I had 2 boys and a girl. It's different raising girls than men, okay? Oh, no, I'm not going there with Epstein. How do you get power? You don't want power over others. You don't want powers over others. You want to be independent. You want to be able to make decisions. I call it your independence and freedom. And eventually, you're going to call it FU money. You know what FU money is? It's fuck you money. I got my fuck you money when I was 39. And then and I still have it. Why? Because I kept working. I didn't slow down. And people tried to screw me. Believe me, they tried to screw me for years. People become envious of you. They become jealous of you. You know why? Because they don't have that 1% grit that you have and I have. But you know what? People try to screw you, okay? So you got to be very careful. And that's why I use prayer. I use prayer more and more. Okay, it's starting to get dark here. What's going on here? Your wife just got home? Okay. Is she happy? Did you give her a hug? Does she deserve a hug? Do you deserve a hug? How long you married? I'll tell you, it goes down fast, man. And you see it, you don't see it coming. You know? You marry for the right reasons, and then all of a sudden, something else happens, you know? Okay. Jamaican, okay. All right, let's see here. I might have to get up and see if I can read this shit. Okay, that might be better. Okay. Never been in the mob. Never. I knew a few people that had bad experiences with the mob. Botox, I've tried it. I've tried it. My sisters are jealous. I have a higher body count in business than I do with women. Oh, Smitty, really? Is that a compliment, or is it just discipline and rules? My brother would say about my dad that my dad would say, "Hey, things have changed," and my brother would say, "You know what that means, Rock? When Dad says things are going to change, that means the rules are going to change." Yeah, I've been in Washington a couple times on business, the state of Washington. The craziest thing I did in my youth, well, I did a lot of crazy things. Actually, it was probably one of the funnest times I had in my life was grade school. But I played hockey, baseball, wiffle ball. I wasn't a football guy. Touch football, that's the other thing. I always had to win. Very competitive. My brothers hated me for it because I was number 5 and I had to win. Card games, chess, all that. So when I think about crazy things, I remember getting on a bus with 2 or 3 guys in ninth grade, and it was not my neighborhood. It was a different neighborhood. And we got on the bus, and right before we got on the bus, this guy named Joe said, "Hey, let's get on and rob this guy," because at that time it was cash, it was money, you know. And they opened the door. Guess what I did? I walked away. I ran. I didn't want to be part of it. Well, I could be an advisor. Okay, you want to be business minded? Hey, it's like the minor leagues, man. You know, if you're a ball player, whatever you decide to do, just do it. Do it and learn. But I call it the NFL. Today's world is you're never going to be like your parents or your grandparents having that long term guaranteed employment, you know? So go do something that you want to do. It doesn't have to be passionate. Go learn a business. That's what I like about entrepreneurship is you go work for somebody, even if you're going to know right away if you're working for a prick. Because that's when you're going to say, oh, fuck this, I'm out of here. I had great mentors. My father was a mentor. He was tough. But I had, my biggest customer was 3M Company. Everybody knows 3M Company worldwide. They had ethics. They did things right. They paid their bills. When they said something, they did it. A lot of people don't do that today. Everything's an attorney. Everything's a contract. I mean, I'm seeing my IP, intellectual property attorney, just to make sure I'm not infringing on anybody's content. You see what I mean? I don't care if somebody wants to infringe on mine. You know why? It's going to teach them something. I don't care. I'm basically an advisor, consultant in the merger and acquisition business, which is matchmaking. I would put a buyer and a seller together. But my first 25 years in career, I was in the converting business, which is printing and die cutting and producing products for 3M. Okay? My dad was an inventor, and I was helping sell that and coming up with solutions. That's what we did. We provide solutions. And that's what you got to do. You want a career? Get into sales. Sales is number one. You got to have that personality. You think I got a personality to influence people? I think I do. Okay? That's what I did. And then solutions. You got to provide a solution. My solution was I'm going to put a buyer and a seller together, keep them together, and do the right thing legally and do it right. Craig, you know. Craig's one of my favorite guys. He's one of my advocates. Thanks, man. You know what? Smitty, listen. If you're doing electrical around $1 million owners, do a great service. Those guys might remember you and say, listen, you ever think about a different career? That's what you want to do. Or the guy you're working for, if it's a family business and you love what they're doing, you ask them for a piece of the action. How can I buy or earn an opportunity to own 10% the first year, 20% the second year, things like that. You see what I'm saying? But you better make sure you get it in writing. Nobody understands that people promise shit, and by the time you get there, it's not in writing, there's no contract, especially if they fucking die and the kids will end up with the parent, with the business, or the wife ends up with the business, you're fucked. Even though you're a key guy. Redemption, yeah, I believe in it. I believe people deserve a second chance also, you know? Okay. Hey, Bill, man, thanks, man. Guys, you know, I can't say enough about YouTube because it's really helping me therapeutic, you know what I mean? Because I'm talking to people that are hopeful, people that are looking at their future. Most guys my age, it's over, you know? And then they want to go back and they got regrets or they didn't save enough money or whatever. That's why you don't want to get stuck with that. Even my discussions on divorce, the divorce deal, I was shocked. I was shocked that people wanted to talk about divorce. But think about it. 50 to 80% of people go through a divorce in the United States eventually. Once, twice, 4 times. There's guys that tell me, Rock, I've divorced 6 times. Well, you did something right. You got out at the right time. But, you know, talk about body count. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Yeah, of course. You don't have the communication. You know what? You don't need to communicate. They're going to see the type of worker you are. Believe me. And your bosses might be hiding you because you're a threat, especially if you're young and you're a go-go. You know what a go-go is? Remember go-go boots? Am I the only guy that remembers go-go boots? I think it was Jane Fonda. These boots are made for walking or what, something like that. These white white boots. And we see women in the 70s wearing, we call them go-go boots. It's sad. He moves on, he's got his legacy. I'm not going to respond to that about eggs. Oh, no, it's common. I've changed my career 8 times in 50 years. Even college. I quit college after 2 years. I was playing hockey, and I was playing hockey my second year. And I didn't like the coach. He was a loser. He didn't care about losing. I was a fucking winner. And I was like, I'm not going to go through this shit. I'm done. I went back. I finished my second year, and I went to Minnesota, back to Minnesota, after I attended a school in southern Minnesota. And I went back, and it took me 8 years to get a 4-year degree. While I worked and had kids, I was married and everything. Nah, 40, man. What's going on with you guys? You feel old because you think old. That's one thing I said about Vietnam. I went to Vietnam, I felt like I was fucking 40. Why? 80% of their 110 million people are under 40. 80%. So they're all rocking and rolling. And they see an American guy and they go, oh my God. That's why they call me Uncle Rock. The feeling that I get, the vibe. They appreciate me. They appreciate knowledge. And these people were wiped out, almost a whole generation. Come on, we call it the Vietnam War. Guess what they call it? The American War. And who won? Come on, we know. Who cares about gray hair at 32? You could do shit with that, but who cares, you know? Did I dye my hair? Yeah, I did. I'm thinking when I dyed it, maybe when I was in my 30s or 40s or something like that. I don't know. But I just let it go. But nobody ever commented, you know? Smitty, subscribe, listen. I got over 1,000 videos, everybody. Listen to them. Have your friends listen to them. I got to get monetized. And I'm going on this live as much as possible because that's really moving my monetization, which is 4,000 hours. I got 2,400 plus. I need more. And I want to get there before I go to Vietnam November 3rd. Okay? Lennar, thanks, man. You didn't waste your life. Got to get your shit together. Go around. Hey, I believe in the Bible. I read the Bible, the Psalms, especially if you're a man. The Proverbs and the Psalms. Good news. If you don't understand it, like I don't, I go on AI. I try to read it. Then I go on AI and I go, listen. Layman's terms. Describe. And then I hit audio and it spits it out. And if I get 1 or 2 gems, that's all it is. 1 or 2 gems. And it gets me going in the morning. And I drink a lot of water in the morning, guys. I mean, I'm 71 years old. And I'm still fucking around out here. And you know one of the best things that I've done is started bowling. I started bowling. Why? Because you're moving, you know? I don't have a cash app. I'm not charging anything. The only thing that I'm selling is my books and so on. When you're at that point, when you really believe in this shit, I got 9 different downloads. They're like $5 on trust, on how to buy a business, how to sell a business, succession plan. I'm really focused on, for 50 years, buyers and sellers of business. But now, my marketing people said, Rock, you got to write a guide for divorce. For a man and for a woman. I could do that. I'll do it. I'll go on AI and just say, hey, here's my experience. This is what to do. Hey, Craig. Thanks, man. Classics. You know, I'm the real deal. How many Rock LaMannas are out there? Now, listen, my name is trademarked. I have a registered Rock LaManna. How many Rock LaMannas are there? You see how I think? I think like a businessman. No one's going to fucking take my name. It's my reputation. I tried to get my ex-wife my name off because of what she did in all this other shit. Can't do it in the state of Florida. I can't do it. And I'm worried about my reputation. Okay. Subscribers only mode? I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how that works. Hulk? How many times we got to talk about Hulk? I had more an affiliation with Ozzy than I did with Hulk Hogan. But listen, they're both in their 70s. I'm 71. I'll be 72. My dad will be 100. I'm hoping I got another 20 years. You're going to listen to me for another 20 years. Rocky, yeah. Hey, listen. When I was 4 or 5 years old at kindergarten, I hated my name, Rock. And this is in my memoir. I got a memoir, by the way. Only in English, but I have it in audio, too, on Amazon. I did my own audio. Why? Can't get enough of myself. Nobody else will listen, so I had to listen to myself. So here I am, 4 or 5 years old. I'm in kindergarten. I walk in, and they start the name call. Rock LaManna. I'm proud. Rock LaManna. You know what they did at recess? Hey, Rocky, where's Bullwinkle? Hey, Rocky, where's Bam Bam? The Flintstones. I was made fun of. So I ran home crying to my mother, who's in the kitchen with 11 kids, small kitchen, making pasta, making sauce, whatever you want to call it. And I'm crying, Ma, I want to change my name right now. I hate my name. I want to be called John from now on. That's my middle name, John. Rock John LaManna. And I ran in and she goes, you know, Rock, someday you're going to love your name. And guess what? She was right. I got it to the point where I even trademarked my own name. That's a true story, man. Rock LaManna, you got it. Thanks, Davey. Bert Davey. Yeah, thanks, Craig. Oh, wow. There's a weapon dealer? What's that movie that was a weapon dealer with the war hogs or something like that? War dogs? That was a funny, good movie, man. Hey, I'm not saying that. It's kind of unfortunate. I don't know if you guys can read your own shit. I don't know. Yeah, my eyes are far apart. Nothing like mama's love. Oh, yeah. My mom, man. Okay. Listen. Was this a good session? Am I getting better? And like I said, I don't know what time to come in. You guys should be working at 5 o'clock, but I don't know. Good evening from Puerto Rico. When I think of Puerto Rico, I think of great ball players. Baseball, I'm a big baseball guy. My Yankee fan, by the way. Um, you know, I don't know the difference between that. Perfect. Can't wait for the next one. Okay, cool. I appreciate it. Yeah. You know, my mom, what did my mom say? I was an owl. Boom. I have my mother's eyes. They're hazel, but when I cry, they're blue. So most of the time, they're blue. And my grandkids, most of them have blue eyes. They're stunning. I notice all that as you get older. I got cataracts now, but I have my mother's eyes, and I notice my brothers. I got 7 brothers, and some of them have, my father's got brown eyes. And when I look at my brothers, as we age, I see my mother because it's our eyes. You know what I mean? We see each other's eyes. Hey, thanks, Craig. Okay. Yeah, a lot of hours, man. 4 o'clock. Good for you. That means you're a go-go. Puerto Rico. Okay. Hey, Bill, thanks, man. Okay. They're saying adios and a thumbs up. Listen, go to my YouTube, go to the live, listen to this shit, even if they have to put it on mute. But listen to it, come back to it. I'm doing the shorts because I'm always got a couple gems. You know what I mean? I remember hey, you probably don't realize this. I went to Harvard Business School in my 30s. Okay? Why? I was at the OPM program, which is Owner Present Management Program, 1988 to 1990. I had 3 kids. I come home in 1988. My ex-wife at the time asked me for a divorce. What a kick in the balls. Holy shit. And I'm running a company and all this other stuff. So what I'm saying here is you just never know what is around the corner. You know what I mean? So talk about, some of you guys brought up you feel old at 30, 40. What? No, it's never over. But you got to remember, I'm a selfish prick. I had a dream. You know how some guys dream to be a Major League Baseball player, a National Hockey League player. You work at it for 20 years. Some guys don't make it. 1%, 2% make it, right? Seriously, how about the NFL? And talk about getting the shit kicked out of you. And if you get hurt, oh my God, it's over, man. I was lucky. I picked the right horse. You know what the right horse is? I picked me. I said, I'm fucking going to do it myself. And if I don't have a wife that's going to be supportive of me, that tried to tear me down, fuck her. I'm going. Okay? That's the attitude you got to have, man. You got to be a 1%, 2% guy or person. And you got to have, if you're married, you got to have a supportive wife. If you don't have a fucking supportive wife, you're fucked. You got to let go. That's when you say no. No more. And you say yes to yourself. Start saying yes to yourself. My kids came before everything, but I had to have a job. And I bet on myself. I was all in. You know these poker guys that go, I'm all in. I was all in. During my divorce with 3 kids and no job, no future. And I had a bad boss that wanted to fucking kick me in the ass. Guess who won? I'm on YouTube as a gift because how many people are on YouTube saying, oh my God, how do you make money? You got to have something to say. And what do I have to say? My experience. That's all. You want to talk about divorce? You want to talk about a career? You want to talk about making money? You want to talk about retirement? You want to take care of your body? Yeah, I could talk about all that shit because I've done it. And who was my role model? My mentors. My father's number 1. Do everything in moderation. Hell yeah, Robert. Oh, Scarface. What a great movie, huh? Oh my God. Yeah, Stand By Your Man. Hey, you guys know all the music. Come on. I'm in my, the 70s. The 80s, Tom Petty came out with a song called Wreck Me. You Wreck Me. Go listen to that fucking song. Here's another movie that came out in 1988, 87. Before I went through my first divorce. My brother and I went to see it. You know what it was called? It was Michael Douglas and Fatal Attraction. Never thought it would happen to me, right? You always see stuff that, it's all in the movies. I just watched a movie called Baby Girl. Oh, it'll fuck you up, man. Who can you trust? At the end of the day, who can you trust? Ozzy. Yeah, 76. And you would have thought he was dead. How about Keith Richard? You'd think he was dead years ago. Oh my God. Stand by your man. I love it when women come on because they want to see what us guys talk about. Hey, I'm sorry. Are there some good women out there? Damn right. But my mom's gone. I tell my sisters all the time because they Rock, you're not getting married again. I said, come on. How many Bushes? My mother was called Busha as a grandmother in Polish, but we found out later it was Russian because her mother, we called her mother Busha. She was born in Poland. Um, yeah, Heartbreak Ridge. Hey, listen, how I lived with a guy for 3 years while I was going through my divorce, and my divorce, and everybody was against me. I was paying child support, spousal maintenance, going to Harvard Business School, and the bottom line was I was paying $300 for a room, and I was an executive and a business owner because I had to sacrifice and say, "Fuck it, man. No one's gonna fucking take me down." That's what I did, and you know what? I have a great relationship with my three kids. And guess what? They got the same fucking work ethic as I got, just like my dad had. Which line, Craig? Hey, you know what? You don't know, Bill, if you're the dad, if you're the next Rock. Hey, I'm going to tell you the privilege I got. My second son, his middle name is Rock, and he was a catcher. He was a Hall of Fame catcher, played a little professional ball as a catcher. I love catchers. And I didn't have the skill he's got. Guess what? Next generation's better. That's what I want. Better than my kids, my grandkids. I want everybody to get better. So anyway, my son came up to me when they were pregnant, my first son and his wife, and we met at a restaurant. And I didn't know this, but they gave me a little gift. And the gift was, I was in Minnesota, they were in Wisconsin. And I said, oh, thank you for the gift. So I opened it up, and here's blue booties. Blue booties. And I kept those booties, by the way, and I eventually gave them back to my grandson. It was a baby boy. She was pregnant with a baby boy. Listen to this. They named him, middle name, Rock. R-O-C-K. So every time I see somebody, even strangers, and they say, hey, my kid's pregnant or my grandchild's, he says, listen, the name Rock is awesome, man. You know? They all laugh. Hey, Angel. Okay, doctor. Yeah. Tough to lose a mom. Tough to lose a mom. I'm one of the lucky ones, man. I got a brother, 79. I got a brother, 11 down at 60. My dad's 100. Can I see backwards? Hey, my ace came good because I was a hockey player. Uh, what's up, bro? I've been on this son of a bitch for 74 minutes. Okay, I'm going to finish my walk. I'm thinking about what's for dinner tonight. I cook microwave. Might have a little tuna, a little brown rice. I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. I started eating gluten-free shit, you know? I have a routine. Bye-bye. So, listen, everybody. I appreciate it. Oh, call my name. How do I pronounce it? I can't say it. Is that Spanish? I don't know. Spanish? I only speak English, and I beat that up. My mom used to say to us, We call them LaManna-isms. Our last name is LaManna. LaManna-isms because we weren't good at it. My father, we had this mix. And my mother spoke Polish. She was bilingual because she was raised Polish. So so she knew how to roll her R's, you know. Hey, Tony. Oh, Japanese. I've been to Japan. Awesome country, man. Beautiful. To me, it's the country of cleanliness. It's like Disney World. Unbelievable clean. And the people are blue zone, you know. They're older. Hey, I like the deal that Trump and Japan put together. Good deal. What do I look for in a man? In what? Oh, integrity. Integrity. That's what I go with. My advice for young people to make money: work, work, work every day. Get up 7 days a week. Work, 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 work. Watch your money. Save for a rainy day. Uh, live amongst your means. Save, save. Okay, that's how you make money. It's not overnight. It's not overnight. Okay. Hey, River Rat. Thanks, man. Thanks. Keep passing them on, man. Keep passing them on. I'm gonna come on anytime I want when I got the energy. You see here, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This is Florida. Okay? A little hot. I took a walk. I donated some stuff that I'm moving. I'm trying to sell my condo. It's not easy to sell a condo, but it'll sell when the interest rates go down. And what am I going to do? I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to invest in myself, in my foundation. What I say in myself is my growth, my retirement funds, and so on. And people. I invest in people. I'm investing in this. This is an investment. I run this like a business. I have a marketing director. I have a editor. They can't keep up with 50 years. Do you see why people didn't like my style? Fucking energy, right? Investment advice? Well, first of all, I'm all about work. You invest in yourself, your own businesses if you could. In the meantime, you go to a investment person that you could trust. I go with a bank. Why? Because they're licensed, okay? And they only hire smart people, okay? Because if there's some type of regulation breach, the bank's got to pay the dues. But it's just like anything else. You invest in the stock. My father taught me something about investing in a stock. Number one, you got to have a strong balance sheet. Not the profit and loss, the balance sheet. Number two, look at the leadership. Who's running that fucking show? Who's there? And it's long term, okay? And cash flow, you see? You got to watch this innovation shit. You got to watch all that. You know, the dot-coms. Remember what the dot-coms? You guys are all young. I like emerging markets because you could get in. It's more or less for the future. So I'm investing in the South Pacific. I'm talking about Asia. Asia is big time. And, you know, it's China, it's Vietnam, it's Thailand, it's Korea, it's Japan, you know? And I believe in America. And you gotta look at different things. You gotta be diversified. But don't spend money you don't have. Don't go to a casino. Don't go to the casino. There's a waste of fucking time and money, okay? You invest for the long term. I started investing at age 21. I don't even touch it. Don't even look. But every 6 months or every 3 months, I go, hey, what do you think of this? And I talk to the right people that I trust, that are proven. It's not Warren Buffett. My kids listen to Warren Buffett. You know, they read his books and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's your choice. You can't blame anybody but yourself. And if you go to somebody that's not legitimate, you're fucked. You know what I mean? You lose money and that's it. And the lawyers are looking at everything, by the way. Nick. No, smart, okay? You know, one of the things that a buddy of mine who's a really good analyst, what he does, he buys in, and once he hits that target, let's say he buys at $7 a share. Once it hits seven, and if it goes over 3 years, by the way, if it hits that seven, or let's say it hits 10, he'll take the seven off the table, let the three roll, and then take the seven and go somewhere else. Because 3 years from now, you want to start looking at your investments. Okay? I don't get too crazy, but I don't like cash sitting there. You know what I mean? Oh, 3.5%. Any balloon on that? Good for you. Good for you. I'm going to go with Ellie. Can I go with Ellie? That a baby. Enough to retire. You know what? I don't have a target to retire. I don't care. You know what I mean? Because it's going to go to my foundation and my grandkids. I'm not giving anything to my kids. My kids are, I brought them up and they're smarter than me anyway. Ellie. Okay. Crypto. Yeah. Yeah. Is Bitcoin the same as crypto? So I went through a ETF on that because I got some gold too. Not too heavy, but enough to get excited about for the future. And I like Trump and his family got into it. So I'm sure they know what they're doing with crypto and Bitcoin. I should say Bitcoin. So you got to watch this stuff, man. It's all over. Watch investments. I educate myself. And AI is, you could ask AI, how's this doing? Right now I'm watching UPS, FedEx, DHL, Amazon, because there's not only a tariff fight, there's a fight over USPS. Who's going to end up the winner in this thing? I think it's going to be USPS. I think they're going to win. I think it's terrible. These buyouts are as a fucking gift, and these people don't even realize how much of a gift it is. And you know what? There's no guarantees, everybody. There's no guarantees. You know, God's got the plan. What if you get hurt? You think someone's going to take care of you? Yeah, you need benefits, health insurance. I got health insurance, okay? I got life insurance, but it's all to the point where I got to trust, you know? You got to trust. At a certain point, you're going to say, where's this going to go? Because if you die tomorrow, you want to take care of your kids, you know, your family. Don't get too nervous. If don't get too nervous. If you're up now, don't get greedy. Don't get greedy. And here's the other thing. Once you take something off the table, make sure you got something that you could invest in. Most of my stuff is what I call long term. You know, I don't bet on 12 months or what do you call it, daily traders. I'm not a daily trader. I always bet on myself because, you know, I had 50 years worth of work, so I always bet on myself. And it was worth it. Biomedical, yeah. Yeah, tough work though, man. If your son's going into research, cool. You know, I go to the doctor quite a bit, you know, internist, blood, dermatologist. I just had something burnt the other day. These guys are all being bought out by private equity, and they work these guys like dogs, man. And you know what? That's a real risk to work for private equity. And to sell the private equity, what I advise my clients, the sellers, is take the money and run. Even if it's 30% less, fucking take it. Take the cash. Invest it and get on with your life. You don't know how long you're going to live. I know people that, Said they were going to sell their business and didn't sell it, and they regret it 5 years later, and the market's down. I'm talking about our segment, the printing industry, which I'm in, and the printing. And then guess what? They get dementia, they die, and it's terrible. It's terrible. I believe in karma, though, too. France, Paris. Yeah, it's cool. I've been there more than once. I had a deal in where 3M France. I did a deal with some people in France, and they teamed up with some Spaniards from Spain. Didn't work out. Didn't work out between the French and the Spaniards. Hey, Bill. Okay, you know what, everybody? I'm losing juice. I'm almost 90 minutes. Now listen, you go on my YouTube, listen to that shit. Keep it going. I need hours. I need about 1,500 more hours. I want to do this in the next 2 months. That's my target before I go to Vietnam. And believe me, you won't regret some of the shit that's coming up, because we're in the third quarter of business. And then there's the fourth quarter. And Trump is going crazy on business tariffs, okay? So there's a lot going on in the world. And then you kids that are going back to school, I'm talking about, when I say kids, I'm talking about the Gen Z, okay? Don't forget, my kids are millennials. There's a difference. And I love, it's like having my own kids. Saying, what are you, stupid? You got to do this. So if I say stupid, I don't mean it literally. I just don't want you to take the wrong steps, okay? I got a lot of lessons to tell you. Or ask the question, Rock, I'm thinking about getting married. The first thing I'm going to say is what? Do a background check. How long have you dated her? Have you been, you do a background check on the family? What's the body count? Has she ever had, listen, this is a true story. Have you ever had an abortion? Yeah. I'm Catholic. I never really thought about it, you know, because our family, 10 brothers, kids, 11 children, illegitimate kids, yes, in our family over the years. Now, everyone lived, no special needs, over 115 descendants. That's how big our family is. You got to ask them. You ever file bankruptcy? You got a crazy boyfriend? You got guns? You ever file bankruptcy, or you ever have a foreclosure? How many boyfriends you got? All the shit that I learned later. How about a prenup? Oh, I agree to a prenup, and then you find out they have no assets. They could walk away. Oh, I'm not going to sign a prenup. Well, then, walk away. All right, Bill, hello. Oh, it's true. Toxic relationship. Yeah, I've thought of suicide when times were tough, and I thought, I can't do this, God. I can't do this. And guess what? I started going to sleep with a rosary in my hand. And I'd sleep, and I'd fucking wake up to a nightmare. That's right. It was the opposite. Fall asleep, wake up hour after hour in a fucking nightmare saying, is this reality? Yeah. You're getting fucking nuts, man. Yeah. Kimberly, are you saying you would sign a prenup? Good for you. It goes both ways. You could have the prenup. You could have the assets and say to your future husband, hey, let's do a prenup. And you know who's going to love that? Your parents. Your parents. You know? I did a mistake. My mistake was I didn't tell anybody because I kept it secret. I was ashamed that I got a prenup. For love? No, that's not right. I'm Catholic. It backfired, man. 12 years later. Oh, fuck. Okay. Yeah, suicide, mental illness is bad, man. Um, Now, listen, one thing I want to mention is mental illness. As you get older, people talk about dementia, but you know what? People get fucking nuts, man. Mental illness is a thing. It's a thing. You don't even know how people are thinking. You know? People change. They do. Uh, I'm not into cannabis and all that shit. I'm always thinking if you're driving down the street and somebody's doing cannabis, is as worse as it's your reaction, you know? Even if it's medical. If it's medical, stay at home. Sorry to hear, parents are gone. Baptist, no problem. Yes, Craig, you know, perhaps are not just for the rich. Am I nuts, Jonathan? You're fucking right, I'm nuts. I'm not ashamed. Oh my God. Yeah, it's a contract. It's business. No doubt about it. Yeah. Don't be a Karen. Have you ever run into a Karen? I have. I didn't know what a Karen was till my brother says, "Hey man, don't you know what they're called? These toxic people, women are called Karen." And he goes, "But a guy is called Ken." I'm like, "Oh shit, they might think I'm Ken." The great one. Oh my God. Okay. Hey, listen. Are you serious? We're still talking? Is it after hours or what? Aren't you people? Are you eating? What are you doing? Are you just getting up overseas? You want a good? What do you want? Some motivational talk? Oh, mother-in-law's name's Karen. Hey, listen. I started out a few months ago saying my ending, my ending of my videos, I would say always bring joy because my one of my mentors mentioned that to me. He goes, Rock, listen, at your age and your parents, you just want to bring joy, so always bring joy to your folks. So I says, okay. So I said, always bring joy, always bring joy. Until a guy he commented, he says, Rock, I love your videos. However, my ex-wife's name is Joy. Can you stop the joy? Oh, God. Hey, I got some stories, man. Okay, you're going to bed. Okay. How did I find mentors? Asking a lot of questions. You could feel it, man. I would go to situations. Hey, now listen. Most people won't get on the camera like me or live or whatever. I said, what the fuck? After a while, you don't care what people think. And after a while, I had the look, I had the car, I had this, it was all image back in the 80s and that, you had to look like a stud. You had to show you were successful. Now, I don't care. I don't care. And you could watch all the YouTubes and a lot of people in their retirees are saying the same thing. Don't care what anybody else says. And you know what? It's true. It's just like my kids, They, Dad, why are you doing this? You're embarrassing us. Don't watch my shit. It's okay. It's the truth. I talk to the truth. So basically, I don't know where I was going with this, but bottom line is you just got to take care of yourself. Be honest. I don't know what the hell's going on. There's some music going on. It sounds like it's rap or something. But what I see now on the path are the kids coming from school, college, see? I don't know if you could see it. But here, what I'm saying is, I'll go to a coffee shop, I'll go to bowling, I'll stop and say hello to somebody. Usually an elder. You know why? The elder, laugh. Older than me. And when they're alone, guess what? They all got a story. I become friends. Then all of a sudden, an 85-year-old guy says, hey, Rock, listen, can we meet here on Saturday morning at 10:30, have a cup of coffee and just talk? Yeah, no shit. And here's a former race car driver. And he's got this Mercedes. I don't even know how fast these cars are, but I'm a very practical guy. I drive a Subaru. I don't care about fast cars and fast women and all that shit. That's not me. You know who taught me that? My father. Here's the strategy of my dad, because we work with 3M. Everybody else is driving Lexus, Mercedes. I talk about entrepreneurs. You know what my dad drove? A GM. Why did he drive a GM? Because that's where our clients were. They were GM. They were the big three back then. What was it? Chrysler, Ford, and GM. So what did we drive? GMs. Grandpa vibes, that's a good, to me that's good. Because I'm not going to give you shit. Miss Harris, is that it? Miss Harris? Great when I'm close enough to hear Hannity. Yeah, Hannity. Yeah, he's okay. Yeah. But you know what? You're going to laugh, everybody, because my dad's an introvert. He was very low key. His whole thing was be low key, be low key. Don't let anybody know your successes and all this. Well, me and my brother, we're sales guys. My mother was gregarious. Let's just say it, gregarious. She was so bored with her 11 kids that she had to get out. So her best friends, we thought she was having a relationship with the bus drivers because she never drove. That's a joke. Honest to God. So remember Mrs. Doolittle or whatever it was, Robin Williams? And the bus driver looks at Robin Williams' legs and all that hair and says, you're my type of woman. It was so funny. That was one of my moms. Hey, Caesar. I subscribed. Way to go. Yes, half Polish, 50% and proud. Mr. Doubtfire, is that what it was? You sure? Mrs., yes. Wow. Yeah, the Democrats are finding out what's going on, man. Classic movie. Oh, yeah. Tattoos, nah. My son's got one of the mascot of his college, and my daughter's got a few. She's trying to get them off, actually. Very painful, costly, painful. I guess lasers or something like that. I'm not into it. Oh, by the way, you know what I learned in Vietnam? It's almost like you're considered, if you have, and they're beautiful tattoos, because it's an art in Vietnam. I mean, beautiful tattoos. And they have to have them covered where they work. So for an example, I'll stay at a hotel and on their arms, they'll have them covered, completely covered, because it's like kind of a, like not a cult, but like you're in a, you know, I don't know what they are. I don't even know what they are, to be honest with you. No, I don't think Joe Biden's going to speak. What happened to Michelle Obama? What happened? Is her podcast defunct already? I don't know what's going on. I don't really care. I'm not going to watch them. You know, I do watch Bill O'Reilly. I think he's the first guy that kind of, on a daily basis, tells the truth. You know? Yeah, the Nam, man. I'm respectful of those people. Go on my TikTok. I got almost 1 million views on one video. Under Rock LaManna, subscribe. I have probably 90% Vietnamese because they're all on a device. They don't have computers. They don't watch YouTube because it's most US, you know? Okay. You know what? You guys got me engaged, man. You got me engaged. I mean, look at this. Yeah. It's a slogan. You bet it is. Yeah. Dan? I know a Dan. Yeah. With that last name. Yeah. This is reality, man. You know? I'm only going to talk about what I know that I believe. No, I didn't see. I must have missed it. I hate to tell you this. Polish dish. We were brought up all Italian. The only thing that I thought was Polish was my mother's. She'd make things. I can't even pronounce them. My mom was a real pastry person. She liked pastries. My dad wasn't a pastry guy. What do you call that? Stuffed green peppers, you know? I didn't even know if that was Polish. To me, it wasn't Italian. Yeah, there's a lot of shit going on. And you know what I like about it? I think Trump is he's keeping so focused on improvement in the economy that he's got his people taking care of all the bullshit from the past. Hey, I'm telling you, man. I think go on. There's a video out there. David Steiner put out a announcement. I know there was a letter out, and there's a bunch of USPS guys going on YouTube now, and I've responded to a couple of them. But they're carriers, and they're kind of like, nah, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. I said, hold it here. Give this guy a shot. Look at his background. But the video, just look it up. It's David Steiner, and it's his first introduction. It's about 5-6 minutes long. I really like what he says. And he's got one hell of a background. He's a winner, man. That's what you need. Don't you understand, people? You need winners, and you need leaders and winners. And once you're a winner and the money doesn't matter to them, like me or or Trump or whatever, these guys are loaded. I'm not saying I'm loaded. I'm saying I've been there, done that. I achieved what I needed to achieve. You see? Now it's time to give back. I didn't know Hulk Hogan, and I wasn't really much of a wrestling fan. No, Baba, no, I haven't. So I'm not going to respond to shit I don't know. You know, I'm just giving you my opinion. I'd rather just say, hey, here's my experience. This is what I did. This is a wrong way to do it. This is the right way to do it. There's a book out by Lou Holtz. And Lou Holtz, I was a big guy in sports, so I like coaches and I like owners. I like to see who the integrity is, who's all in on these deals. Well, Lou Holtz wrote a book years ago, and I gave it to my kids for Christmas. I would give books to my kids. And because what else can you give them? I mean, they fucking had everything. So Lou Holtz wrote a book called Wins, Losses, and Lessons. It's awesome. Take a peek at it. Hey, Craig, I'd go on Post Office, man. I'd check it out. And you know what? They're going to go after this consolidation of that industry, which it's called what? Logistics? Couriers and so on. There's a shakedown. There's a shakedown. The UPS is going to cherry pick. They're going to cherry pick the talent. It's worth it. Even if it's 10 years. Who cares? But it's the physical aspect of it. He's going to turn that place around, man. I'm telling you. He's a game changer. Yeah. Mike Hunt, I don't know. Mike Hunt, is that the Kansas City Chief guy that lost his grandkids? I don't know. Come on, Triple Kill. That sounds weird. I'm not Mexican. A lot of Mexicans in our family, though, that don't speak Spanish, except the nephews and the nieces. They're bilingual, which you should be nowadays. I don't need a green card. Okay. Oh, education and okay. Happy birthday, Mike. I think the party's over, huh? Sherry, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't watch anything grow. I'm proactive. I'm proactive. What I will watch grow is my finances. I got patience. That's what I'll watch grow. My kids, stick in there. My grandkids, I'm going to watch them. I'm going to see how well my kids teach my grandchildren. Ooh, all right. You know, I think Trump is amazing energy at his age. What is he, 78 or something? Unbelievable, that guy. Jenny, happy birthday, Jenny. Okay. No, Kansas, what is it? Is it basketball? Can't be football. I don't know, Jim. I don't know. I'm not into. Hi, Mike. I don't watch the news. Uh, I try to be positive about everything in life. I've made a lot of big decisions in the last 24 months. And number one is my health. Got to watch that. No, I'm not. No. Okay. This looks good, man. Okay. All right. Hey, this was a lot of fun, man. I want to thank everybody. And as I mentioned before, pass it on. I don't know when I come on, or even just let me know. You know, go on my Craig. You know what to do. You know when to track me down. Craig's on top of it, man. He's my number one fan. Okay. All right, everybody. I got to get a haircut on Saturday. I didn't go bowling today. I wanted to, but I wanted to get out instead. No, the great one. I think Craig is number one. He's been with me from the beginning. Tough shit, too, going through. And I think he's taken some of my advice. And I've taken some of his advice. My younger self, that's a good question because I'm young now. I would say I would probably just stay focused on my career. Yeah. Yeah. I think the career, I had great friends. I had a very good informal street smart education, instincts, friends, neighborhood. And then I got fucked up with women. Yeah. And I thought I could juggle them, you know? You can't. So rule number one in the 10 Commandments is you're not supposed to idolize anything. I idolize money. I idolize myself about my career. And somebody asked before about how do you find mentors? Man, I fucking ask a lot of questions, man. A lot of questions. And because I was in the sales and marketing, and everybody was at least 20, 30 years older than me. And they would look at me like, Rock, you got it made. You got 30 years ahead of you. That's what I'm saying to you kids out there now. You got 30 years ahead of you. And don't, take my dad's advice. No alcohol, no drugs, no bad friends, no guns. Stay away from that shit. You see that lineman from Tennessee drafted by Ole Miss football, big lineman, fucking shot and killed at 18. What the fuck are you doing out there? What do you think the coach did? They can't control these kids. That's why you need mentors. That's why these guys bring in, when you a freshman, let's say a rookie in sports, and you're becoming a millionaire or whatever it is, they got agents, they got coaches. But you know what? At the end of the day, when they're up there in the Hall of Fame and they want to thank everybody, who do they thank? Always their mother. It's always the mother, because the father might not have been around. But here's the other one. Their coaches and their friends that stuck with them. That's called loyalty. That's when you're going through fucking hell and somebody's got your back. I was alone a lot. Now I'm getting pissed. Because I talk about younger self. I didn't have anybody. Because they were all fucking jealous of me. And they were scared that fucking Rock's going to go down. We're all going to go down. No. I didn't bring anybody else. It was my responsibility. I did it. Hey, Joe. Yeah. Switzerland, one of the beautiful countries. I've been there, loved it. Okay. All right. I want to thank everybody. How many times have I said that, Craig? Craig, how many times have I said I got to let you go? Corpus Christi. Wow. Texas, man. Tragedy. Tragedy. Yeah. Thanks, Craig. Okay, listen. This is the most I've ever had anyone follow me, and a lot of thumbs up. Thanks, everybody. I got more YouTubes coming out, a lot of shorts. You know, my people go on vacation, and they got lives too, so I'm pushing a lot of this stuff out because I can't get enough of my shit out there. So guess what? I go online. Yeah, time flies, man. You know what? It's a cruel world. Yes, it is. But you know what? Be a good part of it. Be a good part of it. Bring joy. Bring joy always. Okay, man. All right, great one. Kimberly, you making fun of me? All right, listen, man. Everybody have a good night. I'm going to. My routine is I usually make something to eat. I'll watch a ball game or a few innings or something like that. I love hockey. I love watching playoff hockey. And when football starts, I used to watch college, but not anymore. And my team's the Raiders. I know everybody don't like the Vegas Raiders, but I'll watch that. I do fantasy football with my grandkids, and it's awesome because I tease everybody like I really know something. Because I'm my own general manager, my own owner, and I got my own players. And when I beat them, they can't believe that Papa Rock, an old man, picked these guys. He has nothing to do except pick the best players. Well, yeah. And you know what I usually do? I take the underdog. You know why? Talking about asking the question of what would you do differently as a young person? I was the underdog. I was. And I took myself. But guess what? I always had a coach or someone else, non-family, would say, Rock, you got what it takes, man. Seriously. Especially my high school, my college, everybody can't believe that fucking Rock, man. He was a fucking loser. And look at him. What? Look at me what? Who cares? All right. Uh, okay, man. Thank you, guys. I'll talk to you later. Keep watching me. I'll be back probably tomorrow. You make it fun, man. What time? Is 6 o'clock good? 7 o'clock, 6:30, 5:30? Let me know. And if it's like this, I'm outdoors, so it's okay. Not in my car. God bless you guys. Good night. I'll talk to you soon.